Hey there, it's Jody Taylor. Whether you're a first-time listener or it ain't your first rodeo, welcome to Jody Tried It. This tiny podcast is about my journey of purchasing and trying many professional and personal development tools and resources, such as courses, memberships, subscriptions, templates, and apps. I'll share my honest review, key takeaways, and things you might want to consider to help you make informed decisions about your personal and professional development. Now, time for a quick affiliate disclosure. Some of the links mentioned on Jody Tried It, either on the show or in the show notes, are affiliate links, and at no additional cost to you, I will earn a commission if you click through and make a purchase. It's a simple way to support the Jody Tried It podcast, and I only recommend products and services that I genuinely love or believe might be helpful to you. Your trust is important to me. Thank you so much, and without further ado, let's hop on into it. So it's been almost 1 year that I've been a member of Mai-kee Tsang's the Coworking Cove. It's a virtual co-working space or digital co-working sphere. And I thought I would talk about it. Sphere, S-P-H-E-R-E. I feel like I said it like spear, S-P-A-A-R. Sphere. Yes. Digital co-working sphere. I'm going to call it a digital co-working space so I don't mutilate that word. So it's been almost a year since I joined. And so I thought I would chat about it today. If you're listening, if you clicked play, perhaps you're working remotely and you're interested in a virtual co-working space. You want to take time a couple of times a month, set aside and work with others in silence. You don't have to have your camera on. When I saw that, I was like sold. During the pandemic, this was my personal experience, and maybe you had the same experience. I was on so many virtual co-working meetups, so many meetings, so many fears, so many digital events. It was a lot. And maybe even if you were working remotely at that time, there was a lot, let me not exaggerate, but I certainly had situations where it's like cameras on, and it was a lot for me. So when I saw that Mai-kee had this co-working space and you didn't have to have your cameras on, I was like, say less. Say less. I could not wait to sign up for it. One important note that I love, and I probably mentioned this before, I prefer to pay things annually, and that is an option for the co-working Cove, and you get a little bit of a discount, as usually happens when there's an annual alternative to pay annually. Monthly, for me, as a quick side note, always feels a little bit, it feels like a little bit of a constraint. If I know I have to pay something yearly, I have the option of saving throughout the year, putting a little money aside, which I've done before, or just knowing, okay, I'm not going to have to pay this until a year from now. And I have a little planner that I use and I know it's coming a year from now, as opposed to every month. That like low key stresses me out. And it actually ends up being a little bit more expensive because, again, in most cases, you'll get a little bit of a discount if you pay annually. Quick aside about my phone bill, my smartphone bill. I pay it in advance. I happen to know, because I don't use data that much, my phone bill is $30 a month. So I will pay it 6 months at a time and it just runs a credit. Just a little FYI side note. Back to co-working. So there's an option to pay annually. And so I enjoyed that. My year is almost up, so I'm about to renew. I'm recording this August 2024. I'm about to renew in September 2024. I've really enjoyed this, and I've met some cool folks, and it's allowed me to have access to, we're not chitty-chatting all the time. Mai-kee we're not chitty-chatting all the time at all. It starts, and there's two types. So there's an hour and a half, so 90 minutes. So it starts, there's a quick intro. Then we get to work, cameras on or off, your choice. I generally turn my camera off while I'm working. And then there's a break, and it's really quick. And we do like some stretches. And if you want to chat or ask a question, you can. And then back to work for 45 minutes. There's a 3-hour version, which is it's the same. You work for an hour and a half. There's a break. You can stretch if you want to turn your camera on and stretch. If you want to chitty chat a little bit. and then you work for another hour and a half, and then you're done. I really struggled, just full disclosure, the first few months to really find my groove with within a structure, because I'm usually like doing things myself within the structure of the within the frame, the time frame. I don't know what it was. I think it really had to do with me. It has nothing to do with, anybody else or the way it's set up. But I was just reflecting as I'm coming up on a year. It took me about 6 months, and maybe that's just the work I was working on. But after that, I finally hit a sweet spot, and I figured out like what I want to work on during that time. I personally prefer the 3 hour blocks because I feel like I get way more done, and it's more like deep work mode. And I think I just prefer deep work mode, the 3 hour stretches. But I just completed a 90-minute session last week 2 times. I was available both sessions. So I'll just do by my time frame. So there is an early morning session, and then there is a late morning session based on my time zone that I'm in right now. And so I do one at 6 a.m. and then the next one starts at 11 a.m. my time. So 6 a.m. to 7:30, and then I might work out or work on something else. And then the next one starts at 11 a.m. And I really like that. Now, that is going to depend on the season and time changes and Mai-kee schedule. Let's talk about scheduling. So it's not like the 15th and 30th every month. It's by the lunar calendar, and Mai-kee sends out an email every month. And so the day and date may change, but we're definitely meeting up twice a month. Right now, the way it's set up is a 90-minute session, let's say Tuesday, 90-minute session. And then 2 weeks later on a Thursday, we will have two 3 hour sessions. And depending on my schedule or your schedule, if you choose to join, I sometimes will only do one session or both sessions or none. I had a day when I was traveling recently, and I think that was a 3 hour day. And I actually had an overnight flight, and I wasn't planning on attending at all. But then I was like, hey, I feel great, and I haven't slept yet, and I guess I'm not going to sleep. Let's do this. But then I was so tired, so I ended up just doing a little bit. So there's more information if you're interested. I'll put the link in the show notes, like in terms of like if you want more details of Mai-kee's thought process and like her in her own words. But as someone who's been a part of it for almost a year yet and is about to renew, Jody tried it. I thought I would share about my experience and say I've loved it. I've loved having this co-working space, and I've gotten to meet other folks. And I've attended, Mai-kee had a digital event, like a digital summit back in January 2024. And it's really been great to connect and see some of the folks from co-working like in a digital event or going to another digital event and recognizing a name, in the Zoom chat. I've loved actually connecting in an easy breezy for me way. It's not forced, it's natural. And I hope to get to know folks a bit more in this next year. It's been a great experience. That's all. That's all I wanted to say. And so I wanted to share, if you're looking for a virtual co-working space, I'd like to recommend Mai-kee's the co-working Cove. I feel like it's really chill. Check out Mai-kee's website, check out her other products and services to get a sense of her vibe and energy. And I think that will happen really quickly. And then you can decide if it's a great fit for you. If not now, maybe another time. If you decide it's a great fit, then I will see you in the co-working Cove, and be sure to say hi. Oh, Jody, I heard about this on your podcast and now I'm here. I'd really get a kick out of that, like for real, for real. Whether or not you decide to use my affiliate link, there is no pressure. But if you heard it here and you decide to join, whether or not you use my affiliate link, I hope you'll say hi in the chat, or if you want to take your mic off and say hi, I would get a kick out of that. I just think that'd be sweet. All right, I will end here. Yeah, thanks so much for listening. I hope to see you in the digital co-working space, the Co-working Cove by Mai-kee Tsang. Hey, thanks for listening to this episode of Jody Tried It. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my newsletter at joddie.substack.com. That's JODDIE.substack.com. And please share with a friend or three. Thanks for listening.